come to save the day.
Welcome to Mighty House. This is a radio show for people with problems, home improvement problems, that is, and for people who want common sense guidance on how to build green and live a more sustainable lifestyle. Send an email or call into the show. The Mighty House crew is on the job. This is Mighty House.
All right, you can join us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Periscope Live right now. Brought to you in part by Mr. Floor. And wherever you're watching, you can click on the like button and subscribe so you'll be notified when we hit the air. Podcasts of all the shows available at mightyhouse.net, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and on HomeImprovementUSA.com. Find links to all of them at mightyhouse.net. And Rich, if somebody wanted to sign up for the newsletter and would have had a chance to win some Klein tools had they been paying attention to the newsletter, how do they do that?
You want to go over to mightyhouse.net, click on the Contact Us page, just put in your first, last name, your email address, scroll on down and click on boom, done.
And had you done that, you would have had an opportunity to win some Klein tools. So with that, I think let's just go straight to the drawing. We've got a bunch of names here in the bag already ready to go. They're in the Mr. Floor tote bag. So let's go ahead and have the drawing there, Rich. Can you reach in there? And
let me just get in there.
Okay, wait. There you go. Okay, you got it?
Okay.
Okay. Pull a name out. All right, you got one. All right. What do you got?
Dennis got a fish tape.
Oh, he wanted the fish tape. So he's got this beautiful 120-foot Klein spring steel fish tape. It is a beautiful fish tape. And we'll get it. Who won that?
Is Dennis.
Okay.
That's a two-piece, right? That's got a fish tape and a case. So it's a party of two.
Yes, it is. All right. So we're going to be sending that out to Dennis. And congratulations. You know what? Let's just have one more drawing, Rich. Go ahead. Let's do this again.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Can you get it in there? Can you get your arm in the bag?
Yeah. Just got to go right in there.
Okay. Wait. No. There you go. Go ahead. Go on
Quit
down.
moving the bag.
All right. There you go. Okay. Get one.
All right. Now I can pull that out.
Okay. What'd you get? Who else won? We're going to do
Dick.
two. What's that?
Dick won the backpack. Dick.
Oh.
Don't make me say that again. Dick got the backpack.
All right. So
that's what he asked for.
Dick wanted the backpack, so we're going to give.
So the deal was we told people we had 4 items last week, and just send us an email from the newsletter.
Yeah.
Just give us your name and which one of the 4 you prefer to have, and these guys came through.
Yeah. So we just figured we'd send out 2. We've got 2 of these, so we're going to go ahead and get these sent out. And this Klein tool bag, go back. You can go back and watch last week's show where we open all this up and show you. And I just want to say thanks to Klein Tools for letting us do this and giving us this free stuff. And for everybody else that's sent something in, we'll get you something next time because we've still got some more Klein stuff in the bag there, and we'll have a drawing up in the future too. So
that's why you gotta like us on Facebook.
Yep.
You gotta click on subscribe on the YouTube.
Yep.
And they definitely should subscribe to the newsletter.
That's
which
right.
We only send out once a week, so we're not going to fill you up with junk mail.
Nope. And I even broadcast that because it's right in the subject line, win free stuff. So if you see that on our newsletter, open it because you can win some free stuff. You'll find out how right there. So. Okay, so there's a lot going on in the world right now, and we can see.
So today's show.
So today we are in, I think this is North Carolina. We are enjoying the mountain fresh air, and
yes, we're on the back porch.
Yes,
we're in a tree house from the looks of it.
So, I figured today we ought to do something different. What are we going to talk about today, Rich?
Today we're going to talk about indoor air quality. Yeah. So you figure just about everybody in the United States right now is told to be self-sequestered or self-quarantined or on lockdown, which means you're going to spend a good portion of your day and, of course, your nights in your own home.
Right.
So we decided we're going to talk framing today.
Yeah, we were.
Useless today.
Yeah.
So we shifted it, and we're going to do indoor air quality, and it's not just our opinion. We have expert coming in to talk about some of the really cool stuff, and we want to give you facts.
Do you hear that?
Not
there's
fear.
There's a phone ringing. There's no phones.
There's experts right there.
Hey, there he is.
Hello,
John.
here.
Hi, John.
So,
hey, how you doing?
On average, people spend 90% of their day inside. So I figured let's get John on, who's our HVAC buddy. If you tuned in a few weeks ago, you saw the H of HVAC, and
That's right.
we'll have them back in the future to do some more of that. But today was air quality, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of the things you can do in your house, maybe to make the air a little bit cleaner. Because if you're in the northern tier of the country, all the windows are still closed up, doors are locked down, and so you've got this old, stale air in the house.
Well, so is ours. Our humidity's up and our temperature's up.
So you guys are that way too.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, winter's over. Tomorrow's first day of spring, right?
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Not here, buddy.
Well, it's in the night. It's hitting it high 80s to 90 already.
So, real quick, John, let's go over some of the basic things. Let's start with filters, because people they go out and buy this really expensive filter. They shove it in their furnace and think, okay, that's going to take care of my problems. And
I want the one that blocks out all the allergens, you know.
So we have one of these, and they buy these monsters and explain what this is, John.
So the really, really expensive filter that you buy at the local hardware store, that's got you can't see through it. It's got a lot of little pleats in it. It's only 1 inch wide. Is really a good filter, but it doesn't let any air through. And so you have to be careful about that, because if your system isn't designed for that, it can cause more harm than good. It's going to reduce the airflow through the furnace. And in that, it's going to reduce the efficiency and also the filtration ability.
And
okay, so let's start with that filter that he's got held up there. I see on the side of it, it says MERV 11.
that's
So
for
what
Merv
does
Griffin.
MERV mean, and what's the 11 mean?
That Merv Griffin invented this one, and this is his 11th invention from Merv Griffin.
Oh, it's like WD-40.
Exactly.
Another tries to get there.
So it's funny because my screen is not showing you, so I have to go onto my Facebook and actually see what you're holding up, Ron.
Okay.
Oh, it's a three. It looks like a 3-inch pleated filter,
Yeah,
but it
this
says
is-
MERV 11, and like the high, the ones they call it, that they sell you to take allergens out of the air and all that. Those are like MERV 17s, MERV 18s, and
I
like you
think
said, they
highest
just
is
restrict
16.
airflow.
Yeah, and the highest is 16, and it's a laboratory ability where they have a fan blowing through, and it will they throw a pile of dust in the air and see how much dust gets through, and that's how they rate those things. But if you're holding up the 4-inch MERV 11 filter, that is got the ability to capture a lot of dust, because see how wide it is, and it's not trying to squeeze it down into 1 inch.
Right.
It has a lot more filter area, and it's able to get air through and be able to filter that air properly. And so that's sort of, to me, it's sort of that MERV 10, MERV 11 are really, in my opinion, a minimum, with a 4-inch filter to protect your air.
Okay. But that's assuming you've got a space for one of these, right? Because a lot of
It's not fitting in my 1-inch filter slot. Of course, I don't have a filter slot. I got during my returns.
so then you have you also have one of these. Let's see what this is. This have a MERV rating on it.
Tell me what it is.
This is
Ron,
the
because
basic
you're-
7500 allergen from DuPont. This is the 1-inch.
And that's one of the problems you face when you go shopping for these. They are not all labeled with a MERV rating, so you don't know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
And
And that one probably is what is it, a MERV 8?
yeah, this is a MERV 8.
Yeah, and so if you really are stuck on the idea of putting in a high efficiency 1-inch filter, don't go any higher than that. Don't try to get a MERV 10 or 12. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, good, because the screen blanked out. So anyway, that filter there is about as high efficiency as you should use on a standard 1-inch filter.
Okay, and it
again,
says 7500 allergen, so, and it's a MERV 8, and then I would agree that obviously it's about the max you'd want to do on your system, because that's not going to restrict it. It's going to be able to deal with what it's designed to do.
Yeah. So
and then there's there's one company out there that makes their purple filter. I think their purple one is the highest resistant, which is, I think that's a MERV 15 or 16. And you cannot get any air through it. It's like, might as well put a brick wall in it. A piece of plywood.
Well, hey, John, I've been to people's homes. They say, my furnace is making some strange noise. You mind looking at it? And you go in there and you open up the cabinet and you see these, and they've gotten sucked into the blower because, one, they didn't change it in a couple of years. Two, they went and bought one of these these pleated filters that had a high MERV rating, and they just couldn't handle it. So the blower just sucked it into the furnace.
Sucked it right in.
Absolutely, it'll suck it right into it. Yep.
So,
so it not only that, but it can actually damage your furnace. Overheating it,
Right.
It can damage your blower by getting sucked into the blower. So the guy at the hardware store
And it can cause icing up on air conditioning and the A coils.
yes.
Yep.
So
the
then,
guy at the hardware store that recommended that may not really know what he's talking about.
no. But see,
No,
now
but the
this
problem
one,
is people see it on TV, and right now we got viruses floating around, and they're going to tell you that they've got this MERV 16 filter. It's going to trap it all.
Yep.
And it's like, no, it doesn't, and it's going to do more damage than good. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's going to end up costing you more. This is the kind of filter I normally tell people to install. You can see right through that.
Yep.
And
yeah, because that's meant to keep rocks out of the motor.
And that's probably a MERV 5 or 6. And my advice, just like yours, Ron, is to put that in and change it all the time.
Yep.
Change it once a month, even if it doesn't look dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Change it once a month, and unless you've got all hard, you don't have pets and you're living by yourself. But, anyway, that will do a good job of protecting your equipment.
so this is, people tend to think, oh, I'll just put one of these in. This will clean the air in my house, when in fact they should be using that one. And what other options do we have then? If we're not going to clean the air with our filter in the furnace, how else can we do that?
Well, one of the things that we have to consider is what are we trying to get rid of? And so one of the ways to deal with that is to actually test the air.
Oh.
And I sent you a test.
Oh, yeah.
Or I gave you a machine over there, and let's look at the report together.
Oh, no. That doesn't
So
sound
this is in Ron's studio, and he just recently ate.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the levels are.
So we've got basically 6 things that we're looking at: particulates, which is dust and things like that;
Uh-huh.
chemicals, which could be from paint, off-gassing from furniture, carpeting. There's other things, and I'll back up to that in a minute.
So like
carbon dioxide,
VOCs then.
VOCs, yep. Carbon dioxide, temperature, humidity, and carbon monoxide.
Okay. Humidity is
So-
going to be fairly low, I'm going to guess.
Humidity is, you're pretty low. You're about 32%. Although it's raining outside, so it's
That's
a
pretty
little bit
good.
on the higher side.
Because
Yeah.
usually it's
itching.
about 20 to 25%
Yep.
in here.
Yeah, we're 49. We're 49 to 52. So if I don't have that, I get itchy. I turn one.
Yeah.
It's funny what you get used to.
Yeah.
It dries fast. So anyway, so in your place, we are looking at 2 issues: carbon dioxide
Uh-huh.
and particles. The chemicals are okay, and the temperature and humidity are okay. So, and you don't have any carbon monoxide because the trains aren't going past right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So filtration is a part of it. So we need to talk about filtration. Now, the dust, where's the dust coming from? It could be from your ductwork itself. The ductwork could be dirty, or it could be coming from inside the walls where your ducts aren't sealed. It could be drawing it in from there. So that has to be figured out. And carbon dioxide can be a problem. That's maybe why.
Stop breathing,
You're
Ron.
always, you're always sleepy, or your desk, or
Uh-huh.
or whatever. So in some cases, this, if this was going to be a typical situation where we're looking at the indoor air quality in a home, I would say let's do it for a longer period of time.
Okay.
And see what happens at night, things like that. And we need to, in this situation, we need to improve the filtration. We need to probably, most likely, clean and seal the ducts. And then as far as carbon dioxide, if it stays high, we might need to add some ventilation in from outside.
Well,
and there's a couple of ways to do that.
This building it's an old block building built in the 40s, and it's leaky as a sieve. So, and then the windows, they kind of keep the wind out.
What would cause an elevated carbon dioxide inside of such a large building?
Well, if you think about the studio that you're in right now, it could be just because there was at one point there was 3 of us in there, but now there's only 2, and it's a very small space. So that could be just off gassing from bodily functions.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
The other thing is, even though I'm finding leaky homes, older homes, I'm finding high carbon dioxide content.
Really?
And so we're starting to put in, in Wisconsin, you have to put in energy recovery ventilators to bring in and control ventilation.
Right.
And in Illinois, they have no such codes or laws.
No, in every house that we do, we put a 90-pint dehumidifier tied into outdoor air, and that's how we make our makeup air and ventilation air.
It's an excellent way to do it. And we're starting to do the same thing here and improving the air quality. And so by doing that, we are reducing the humidity. Certainly in the summertime, we're helping with particles because we're bringing in outside air, and we're helping carbon dioxide and chemicals by putting in bringing in outside air and conditioning it.
Well, hey, John.
Yeah.
Would the wood shop in back have anything to do with high particle count in the air?
It certainly could, and it does in my house too.
Ours is sandstorms.
Oh yeah, you guys get sandstorms.
Yeah.
So okay,
No, I mean, we haven't had a drop of rain in 2 weeks, so literally, when it gets windy, it's fine dust everywhere. It's crazy. So you don't want the house open.
So this is getting ready. Another 2 minutes, we'll get another report. Maybe we can come back to it and see if it's changed much.
Okay.
So people can actually do this.
Hold your breath
Okay, I'll try.
for 2 minutes.
So then people could do an air quality test, something like this. And how prevalent is this? Do a lot of HVAC guys have a product like this or not?
There's very few of us that do. I've had it since about 1992. I've always been interested in trying to help indoor air quality issues. And one day I happened to be at a convention, and I was telling one of my friends that I would love to be able to actually diagnose what's going on in people's houses. Mm-hmm. I turned around the corner, and there's Air Advice, and I instantly bought my first with them. And was now able to come up with good diagnosis for what's going on in people's homes. And I've had many people really appreciate, and we've helped a lot of people with this. And so in the Chicagoland area, there might be a dozen of us.
Okay.
And so there's not that many. But some of the other issues, we can help.
Let's say if somebody wanted to go to Air Advice on their website, do they connect people with contractors in their area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Airadvice.com.
Airadvice.com, so you can check that out all over the country, and hopefully you'll have somebody in your area that can help you out and get your air tested, if in fact that's what you need to do.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. I just had a friend of mine in Pittsburgh get signed up and get testing locally with her. So anyway, there's a lot of other things we can do to help improve your indoor air quality.
Okay.
We talked about filtration. We talked about duct sealing and duct cleaning.
Whack, whack.
And then the other thing is we need to think about getting rid of some of those toxic things like the volatile organic compounds. I've
got your Oxy 4 air purifier. up on the
That's-
screen right now.
Okay, good. Thanks for telling. That's a great way too. It kills. Get this, viruses,
Okay.
molds, bacterias. It helps neutralize VOCs. They're amazing things. If somebody was to ask, what can I do about COVID-19? I wouldn't tell you that this will kill it, but it's a virus, and that air purifier will kill viruses.
But we don't know
So
for
it
sure if
hasn't-
it does the 19.
It hasn't been tested against, COVID-19, but that will definitely help purify the air and make you healthier to be able to fight some of the nasty illnesses that we get.
So how does that one work? Is that the UV light, or is that a different model? Is that actually some kind of filter or electrically charged?
It is a ultraviolet light that reacts with, first of all, the ultraviolet light itself will sterilize the air. But it's also got a titanium coating on the outside that reacts and creates another reaction where it creates hydrogen peroxide cells that go out and they flow through the air, and then they land on horizontal things like metal. And they've been saying that the COVID-19
the virus can live on metal surfaces for
it'll
quite
live
some
on metal
time.
surfaces. So this helps with that. I mean, I can't say it'll kill them all, but with these hydrogen peroxide particles that go out through the air, it helps sanitize. They have a half-life about half an hour. And so then they sanitize.
That's it. We're done. He's got it.
Yep.
You're talking about all this dust. Oh,
That's
there
why
we go.
everybody's out of toilet
Hang on.
paper. One
Fuzzy
person
just
sneezes,
Fuzzy just gave
10
me
people
some.
shit themselves.
Yep. There we go. All right. Oh, that smells pretty. That's nice. That's nice.
Yes.
All right, that commercial breaks.
Okay. And what is this? Oh, lime basil?
Lime basil. I cook with it.
It's special. Here you go, sir. Thank you. I feel much better now.
Fresh.
See, now this thing's going to go off and have the chemical reaction to say, okay, now there's too much perfume in the air. Okay.
Probably will.
All right. So this was one of them that you had for us, John.
Yeah.
And
And
by
where
the way,
does that mount? That go right in your right into plenum, or
where does this? How would
Yeah,
you
that's a
mount
great
this
question.
in the furnace?
You have one. That one goes in the return somewhere before the filter.
Okay.
The other one that I have on there it's a smaller one. I can't remember the name of it offhand right now. Can you put it up?
Let me see, because we've
not
got
that
two
one.
more. It's a whole
so John,
ultraviolet.
the
if
rest-
that actually
Clean
puts
comfort?
out a hydrogen peroxide molecule off of the plates, and you're putting in the return side before the filter, does that just get caught in the filter, or does it get through the filter and that's how it lands on the surface? So because the way you described the way that worked, I'd almost think it'd go in the plenum or the supply side.
It makes sense to go in the plenum, but they're recommending that goes in the return. And then there's another one that is used that one there.
The
That
active?
will go above the coil, and that'll sanitize the air conditioning coil. And especially in Florida, during air conditioning season, that's where the crud builds. The nasty stuff builds up in the.
Turn it 90 degrees, please, Ron. Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Turn the other one 90 degrees too.
Huh?
The small.
There's no. That's it. That's the only one, man.
So
you
is
want
that
both of them up?
I've seen another brand called Halo, basically the same thing.
Great, another great product. There's
There.
a lot of really good products out there.
This one
the
was
Remy
called-
Halo's an excellent one.
That one's called Clean Comfort. Is the other one that you've got
Yeah.
here?
That's probably the top of the line now because they're adding carbon too, which also helps with smells. In that one, so there's a lot of really good products out there. The idea of it with the ultraviolet mixing with the titanium, that's what does a lot of the reaction. And then the smaller one that Ron just put up, it helps keep the coil clean.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
what are we
so-
talking in terms of cost, since Robbie's not here tonight to do her job? A ballpark. I mean, every job's going to be different depending on where it's located, and obviously there's a big difference in each of those products.
Right. The top one and the expensive one is going to be $800 to $1,000. The lower one is going to be $400 to $600.
So,
Installed, or
yeah, if I was going to pick one, it would be that the active one, the top one. That's going to do the dust-free active one is going to be the one that I would recommend.
this is the one that you're not going to get back. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
yeah, right after you send in the check for $800 to $1,000.
This one's going to disappear into my truck, John. I don't know if you know that or not, but
Okay. I have to break into your building tomorrow.
John, it doesn't matter if you need it back. He'll never get it installed. How long did it take you to finish the kitchen?
It's not done yet, but I started it in 2000. Okay.
Yes.
It's not done yet. It'll be done at some point. I pace myself, Rich. You know that.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the shoemaker and the shoes.
It's my house. Same thing.
Hey, John, what's a better chemical clean?
Bring your mic up.
Hey, John, what's a better chemical clean, the ozonation or more of the charcoal with the carbon?
Well, ozonation is in ozone itself.
Yes, so using ozone or using carbon?
Ozone does a great job. The only problem is it wrecks your lungs. So you don't want to have anything that creates ozone. Every electric motor, every electric thing does create a little bit, but some of these ozone generators are just terrible for you. They do a great job of getting rid of odors and sanitizing things, but you don't want to breathe it. It'll scar your lungs and damage your lungs.
So yeah, after fire, the ozone generators, you can't even be in the house while they're running them.
Yep, they're terrible for you. And so my recommendation is carbon, and that also goes for water filtration, which is a whole nother show.
Right.
Right.
And I kind of wanted to get into, so if somebody didn't want to do that and they want to just go buy one of those units, I start getting nervous when I see those standalone systems that they say are going to clean your house and change, filter the air in your whole house and every hour, and they have all these.
You mean like
wild
those
claims.
air waves where you put it in the corner of the room and
Yes.
your whole house is clean because it's got static plates?
Right.
And when you
Right.
read the box, it says it's good for 100 square feet.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so if are there standalone systems that someone might be able to purchase to be able to help that out?
Yeah, like in my house, I've got hot water heat, so I do have a space pack type system for air conditioning, but I don't want to be running that in the wintertime.
Sure.
So I do have a small standalone that I think is rated for like 200 square feet that I keep in the kitchen by the garbage can.
Oh.
And it does help get rid of the garbage can smell.
Okay.
So there are some standalones out there.
Nice.
You're talking about just going to buy these things. I know they do sell a few things at different home centers, but if you install it improperly, maybe the light's on all the time, and that's not a good thing because then you start building up ozone, and there's a lot of issues. It should always be installed by a professional.
Right. So there was one more thing. I don't know. Can you get that, Fuzzy? Have I got that the right way? You can't see it. Okay. So this is that one pamphlet you gave me, John. It's a system that just mounts onto the side. Now that goes back. It is installed back on the furnace, but it's going to take a portion of the air as it's passing through there and filter it. It's not like with the filters that you're putting in there that like clog everything up. So you want to explain this one real quick? This is the Clean Comfort.
Clean Comfort 5-stage air purification system. And basically that it mounts on the side of your ductwork.
Okay.
And it draws in air. It has a HEPA filtration system in it. It has carbon filtration. It has ultraviolet. And it has that titanium, it's actually called a PCO. So it's 5 stages of air cleaning, and it draws it out of the furnace, and then it puts it back in the furnace. So it doesn't do it doesn't degrade the amount of air going through the furnace. This is really probably my highest recommended air filtration system available. And so when I have somebody that really wants a good job, or somebody wants really good filtration, but their ductwork is minimized. It's maybe not the right size, and they're not able to have us make, large changes or improvements. Yeah. So this is a really, really great system. I love the 5-stage system, and you're talking anywhere from $1,500 up to $2,000 for that installed. But it's a great system.
Right. So anything that's going to have the HEPA filtration and the UV lights, they're going to get pretty expensive. So how long does it take these things to start working once you install it? Is it immediate change in the house, or is it something you're going to figure out over time? Are you going to notice?
It's pretty immediate. We have tested before and after, maybe a day or two after, and
Okay.
It's made a big difference. It's knocked out, these things have knocked out 75% of the particulate, and it's really lowered the VOCs in the house. So yeah, it's definitely helped.
Excellent. So, all right.
Well, and that's how it's nice with having the electronic sniffer, because you can get quantitative results then. You go in, test before and after, and you can see the difference.
Right. That's back to this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Back to that deal. So, and you can also, there are some commercial grade filtration systems you can use that we've got for jobs that we actually take out on the jobs. And you want to grab that real quick? Can you set that up here or not? I don't know how, it might take
You
up the
got
whole
Fuzzy
screen.
Robbie away from the board?
Yes, he ventured away. See, there we go. I don't know, let's see, which side do we got there? See, let's spin this around. Let's go this way like that.
Looks like it's been on a job site or two.
Oh yeah, this has been on a lot of jobs. So,
Right.
But these are made by Build Clean. These are designed to clean the air in your home. So if you've got a job going on in your house and you want to clean the air as it's going through, this will move a lot of air. It also, you can set it to be on automatic, so it's on low fan most of the time. But if you walk by it and you stir up a lot of dust, it will sample the air and actually ramp up and start blowing more air. So it'll actually move more air, clean the air. It does a great job. And so these are not cheap either, but if you needed to clean your air really good, you could also try one of these. So
Right.
I'll just set it back.
And we
there,
used to
Fuzzy.
use those when we were doing additions in people's homes, and we would run those to keep the dust out of the other portions of the home.
Right. So
And they liked it.
yes, they did. Those are $800-900. So they're not cheap either, but it's worth it, and it does a great job. So that's got the HEPA and 2-stage filtration in it. And
But again, a HEPA filter is still not going to stop a virus. I mean, that's
No.
what we're all kind of, freaking out, or everybody's stuck in their house over. This cleans out dust. That'll do dust.
Right.
The other ones will do dust, carbon, VOCs, and some viruses. And, so there's definitely different options out there.
So, and I guess if you wanted to do one of those to kill the viruses in your house, and you would wouldn't you just turn this on and leave the fan on even though it's not blowing, so that way the air's moving through there and it'll help clean that air up a little bit faster?
Ron, you talking about putting an air purifier in the system? Yes.
Yeah, this
You can leave-
active system.
Yep. Leave the fan on. Back in the olden days when electronic air cleaners were our only choice, and people used to smoke in their homes, we would have them run the air cleaner and turn the fan on, and it was amazing. I had a couple of old smokers that they had sticky walls because of the tar and nicotine on the walls, but yet when you walked into the house after we put these things in, it still smelled a little bit, but it really did a good job of removing the smell. And so but then again, this ultraviolet now is the next step above that.
Right. So go talk to your HVAC contractor. You can pick these up. They're fairly easy to install if you want to try one yourself. If you screw it up, you're not going to hurt anything. Call the HVAC guy out and have him finish it off. Right, John? Don't you like fixing everybody's problems?
Yeah, it's quite a bit of our work.
Yeah, but the labor rate goes up if you've already tried it once before and couldn't do it.
true.
We charge extra.
Exactly.
On it a little bit.
Charge extra if you stand there and watch. Charge extra for questions.
Yep.
And charge more if you've already tried and couldn't succeed.
That's right.
Yep.
So, you got anything else you wanted to touch on there, John? I think we wrapped this up pretty good. So.
Well, I just want to say that a lot of times if you're having symptoms that you don't quite understand, I'll just tell another quick story. We had a really neat family. He was a Marine fighter pilot in World War II, and I really liked this family. And the wife was having a real rough time, and they'd had like 4 HVAC companies out. And when they called us, I found that there was a serious problem with the ventilation going on in the house, and it was the flue wasn't venting properly, but nobody caught that. And,
Not the flu virus, the flu for the furnace.
Yes.
Okay.
Getting carbon monoxide and things like that from the furnace. So we were able to solve it, and we ended up taking care of about 10 other people that were related to them that had other environmental illnesses. And that's when I really started getting into indoor air quality so that we could help people. And it was amazing what people were willing to put up with. And then once we were able to solve it, how much happier they were and healthier.
Yep.
So indoor air quality is a huge thing. It's not something to be trivial with. Kind of like this flu virus. I mean, you got to wash your hands for 20 seconds in that. And then I'll quick touch on how we're dealing with it with our customer base and our employees.
Okay.
We don't want our employees to get sick. And so we have 5 questions that we ask our customers before the technician goes out. And things like, have you traveled to China? Do you have the flu? Do you have headaches and all that? So there's the 5 questions. And we have 10 questions we have to ask of our technicians to make sure that they're feeling well. If they don't, if they have any of the symptoms, we make sure that they wash their hands, they wipe their trucks and their tools down, that they're wearing booties, and then we ask if the customer would like us to wear a mask, and it's not to protect ourselves, but it's more to protect them. And so that's what we're actually instituting immediately to protect our customers and our technicians.
Well, you guys are in a lot of
Actually, one thing I would
homes.
change is they're saying now if anybody's gone through an airport, you should self-quarantine for 14 days just for going through an airport.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I said it seems like it's getting crazy again. It's just to flatten the spike, and I can understand that.
Yep.
Right.
And I can't tell you how hard it is when you live on a vacation island like this.
Right.
Spring break, the Marriott's still at 80%.
Really?
Yeah. Well, where are they going to go? They're stuck here now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very interesting how everybody has to deal with everything. So.
Okay. Well, John, I appreciate your time again. We've been utilizing you a lot this month, it seems like, but hopefully it's okay. And we'll get back into some of this other HVAC stuff later on and in the future, and we'll get things going.
That's right.
I think at this point, you can join us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Periscope Live. Podcasts of all the shows are available at mightyhouse.net, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and on HomeImprovementUSA.com. And you can find links to all of them at mightyhouse.net. You can also just go to mightyhouse.net. If you scroll down a little bit, the current show is always posted there, and you can listen to it and watch it there live. Look for us on Facebook, again, YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you click on the like button and subscribe. And next week, what are we going to do? Oh, Mr. Floor is filling in for us, Rich. We got the day off next week. We get to relax. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, Mr. Floor's coming in. They're taking over the show for us. So, but for
Nice.
Fuzzy Robbie, Rich Calgill, Robbie Earhart, and the entire Mighty House team, keep it square and level
Until next Wednesday, I guess.
until next Wednesday, and you'll see Aaron and Igor. There you go.
Yeah.